Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Wednesday, January 15th, and the energies in the day adds up or reduced to number 7 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. So today's energy, adding up or reducing to number 7 vibration, also being the 15th, brings me to a couple of things. So when it comes to today's energy, it feels like we are moving fast to a certain extent, focusing on, something about deadline, or it might not even be about a deadline, but there's some fast moving aspect to the day, but at the same time, everybody is quiet within themselves as they're moving fast. So it brings me to being in a busy place, but everybody is quiet. Being in a busy place, and it might not be that everybody else is quiet, but it would almost feel like there's this distance between distance between each other. So this could be a kind of energy where you're in a busy office or a busy working environment, and people might chit chat and say hi and communicate. People might chit chat, say hi, communicate briefly, but at the same time, there feels like there's some disconnection or there's some isolation as, people are within themselves reflecting and trying to understand a thing. And we have the raccoon as the spirit guidance. And with the raccoon as the spirit guidance, the raccoon is bringing me to the nighttime. And when I think of the night and I think of the dark, I think of, things being held back, things being hidden. When I look at the raccoon energy and the day adding up or reducing to number 7 vibration, it brings me to the unseen realms. It brings me to the spirit realms. It brings me to seeing in the dark. Something about today's energy brings me to reading between the lines, seeing in the dark, understanding something on a deeper level. Also, today's energy brings me to big time research. There's big time researching, investigative energy about today. When it comes to the researching and investigating energy about today, it feels like a form of escapism for me. For some of us though, we could find ourselves researching and investigating something that being intentional about a thing that we're researching and looking into. And for others of us, it feels like deflecting from what we're actually feeling, deflecting from our emotions. But it feels like a deflecting energy, meaning we jump up, and I think of, say, someone, normally you wake up and you might not touch your phone other than to see the time. Then you put it down and you have a routine, you have a process that you do. And after this routine or process, then you pick up your phone. Today feels like one of those days where, some of us could find ourselves, we wake up, we pick up the phone to check the time, but then instead you find yourself, maybe you check a social media platform, and then from checking the platform, all of a sudden something catches your eye, and then you want to, you have a question about this thing that catches your eye, and then you're digging down the rabbit hole, researching something that's not even that important to begin with. And that leads you from one thing to another thing, to another thing, to another thing. And before you know it, so much time has gone by and you've been in this rabbit hole, diving into nothingness. I feel like one of two things can happen today. Some of us could be intentionally diving into something, trying to understand something about ourselves. But to me, when it comes to today's research, some of the things that we might find ourselves researching a lot about could be a career path, could be about your diet, your weight, trying to improve yourself, your appearance, or even about your home. But it's like looking into the material side of things, trying to get answers about a material thing. But instead, to me, today's energy, like for me, would be beneficial understanding ourselves in relations to some of our triggers, and triggers pertaining to the material side of society. So like say yesterday something came up, and this thing that came up yesterday really had you in your feelings, really had you feeling some type of way or whatnot. To me, today would be a good day to really dig into yourself. And why did that make me feel like that? Why did I react like that? Why did I respond like that? What made me, what made me respond or react like that to that? Like, was it really that serious? It's really, my reaction is a sign of something else for me to understand something about myself. And for me, when I say looking into ourselves and understanding ourselves, it's not about obsession of self, but for me, it's peace. Whenever there is irritation or pain, for me, pain is a bookmark that holds space for our transformation. So whenever we feel pain and irritants about certain things, like, wouldn't you like for it to be the last time that pain got that kind of reaction out of you? Wouldn't you like it to be the last time that pain dominated your world and, made you make a fool of yourself? For me, that's the point of, questioning and getting to know myself on a deeper level so that I don't lose control based on hidden emotional things that's happening within me because something happened before and I never, for whatever reason, was able to face the emotions of that thing. Maybe I wasn't strong enough to face it, to sit with it, or I didn't know any better. And it's like, it's reoccurring or rising up through other things that seem like they're important, but really it's an opportunity for me to get a deeper look at that thing within me. And it's like, why not, go deeper and remove that thing, go deeper and not even remove, but go deeper and understand that pain. That's, the energy that's left within. And from understanding it, we're able to free it. And for me, when it comes to understanding it, it might just be curious and compassion. Why do I feel this way? Or why do I act this way? When was the first time? When was the first memory of me having this kind of emotion, feeling, or experience? And if we ask ourselves questions and trust that the answers will surface, they will surface. And I feel like today's energy is perfect for shadow work and reflection, but most of us might find ourselves deflecting when it comes to this energy. Hey guys, I want to share with you 7 benefits of getting a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session. The first one is understanding your internal programming. The second one is becoming more clear about your purpose and passion. The third is setting goals for success. The fourth is awareness of strength and areas of improvement. And the fourth one was foundational for me because whenever you're aware of your weaknesses, no one can use them against you. And when you're aware of your strengths, that makes you unstoppable. And that is why I say self-awareness is a superpower. The fifth benefit is removing obstacles. We first have to become aware of a thing in order to remove it in the first place. The sixth benefit is understanding relationship dynamics. We don't have to change the people in our lives. We have to become aware of ourselves and start from there, and everything changes. And the seventh benefit is upcoming transits, if that's something that you would like to look into because you're planning for something or you just want to be aware. So if you're interested in booking a numerology natal chart awareness coaching session or learning more about it, the link to book or the link to send me an email for questions are both within the description box below. Today is Wednesday, ruled by Mercury. Mercury is in Capricorn. And with Mercury in Capricorn, the mind is in a space where we're reflecting on our father or our mother, whoever is the head of the family. We're reflecting on the legacy that was left behind. We're reflecting on what's expected of us, maybe the responsibilities that we assign to ourselves or what society assigned to us. And for me, responsibility is what do you have the ability to respond to? And you can tell when you've picked up a load, when you've picked up someone else's load by your inability to respond, your inability to make this thing happen. Where when you have the ability to respond to something, it doesn't take nothing out of you to respond. It's just in the process of being you are able to respond. An example of that, I think of like the surgeon that enjoys doing surgeries, enjoys saving lives, and enjoys the process of precise cuts and stitches and all that stuff. In the process of them being them, there's reciprocity happening because they're helping, but at the same time, they feel renewed in the process of helping. Where the person who freaks out at the sight of blood and the thought of cutting, but yet still they want to be a surgeon because their family told them to, and they're doing surgical work, but every time they do it, it's like they lose a part of themselves because it's so exhausting, it's so draining, it's overwhelming. It's like, can you relate to being in a career, in a profession where every time, every day you show up for work and give of yourself, you feel like you lose a part of yourself? And that's because you don't have the ability to respond to that. Instead, you're forcing yourself to respond to something that you don't have the ability to. So instead, there's no reciprocity in the process. Instead, it drains you. Where for me, when it comes to say, creating content and expressing myself, I'll do long hours of it. And yes, I'm tired when I'm done, but at the same time, I feel recharged and rejuvenated because in the process of expressing myself, different thought processes, realizations, and things are channeling in through me. And I get great ideas that I'm able to apply to my world. It's just like, say, in Monday's video, and I was given an idea of how to do a water ritual that came to me for the first time as I'm doing the video. And it's like after, I'm like, I'm going to do that. I'm going to try that. That seems like a really cool idea. So it's like in the process of me pouring a lot of energy into a thing, I'm also getting from it. Just like being in the salon and being a stylist. In the beginning, I loved it because I was expressing myself by creating and making these works of art. And I love how it made my client feel. And it worked for me for a while where I'm putting out and I'm getting back. So it's like there's reciprocity there. But then after a while, when it no longer fulfilled me, it felt like I was only putting out and it wasn't giving anything back. So I feel like when it comes to today's energy brings me to that, thinking about Mercury and Capricorn. And I love how it's positively aspecting Saturn and Pisces, because with it positively aspecting Saturn and Pisces, we're able to get a glimpse of certain ways how we could create and heal. And within whatever career path that you're interested in, there's a possibility to be expressive, creative, and heal in some way. So we're able to see how we could do that on a professional level, but also too, like I mentioned with responsibility, is what do you have the ability to respond to so that there's reciprocity. You can tell you're in a field that no longer serves you or that you don't belong to based on the fact that it only takes from you and it gives nothing back to you. And giving back to you might just mean like, I think of like saying the person who is a housekeeper and they like cleaning. They love the idea of walking in. I think of like a person having strong Virgo and Cancer energy together. So it's like they like the idea of walking into a space that's chaotic and seeing the transformation, organizing it, and then cleaning it. And to them, it's very soothing to clean. And when they're done, to see what they took something from and what they brought it to, the ability to transform it, it's like it's nurturing. And someone would be like, how do you love cleaning? And it's like, it's just therapeutic. you know, in the process of them cleaning, they're getting nurtured. You know, there's reciprocity in it. So today's energy brings me to that when it comes to what we're digging into, what we're questioning, and what we're trying to understand. And for some of us, you know, we're at the crossroads trying to figure out the right profession, field for us. What is it that we want to get into next? And, you know, pay attention to what energizes you and what depletes you. And that could help you to figure out the path and the direction that you want to be in. We have the Five of Wands energy in the upright position. And with the Five of Wands energy, the Five of Wands will bring me to a competitive energy. And with the competitive aspect of the number 5 and the sudden and unexpected change of it, sudden and unexpected, not knowing what's going to happen next and feeling like we have to show up and prove ourselves, it'll bring me to like an audition energy. Today's energy, some things will come up when we might feel like we have to compete with the world when it comes to certain things, but no, when you're authentically following what's within you, what's aligned with you, no one can compete, no one can block, no one can stop, no one can interfere. If anything, they're only used to serve you, even when it appears that they're trying to block you, because them trying to block you would be the universe using them as some weights for you to build some muscle, build some spine, build some backbone, because in order for you to fully embody this thing, you're going to need to be stronger. Them trying to stop you, block you, or whatever might be to help you to recognize and, you know, understand certain unconscious things about yourself, and that needs to be strengthened and understood. Either way, they're showing up to serve you, whether they're showing up as a personal trainer or a coach by challenging you in the worst ways. You know, it's up to you on how you choose to see things, but either way, whenever you're following your path, no one can do anything but assist you on your way. And sometimes the way how people are meant to assist us might seem like they're meant to block and hinder us, but no, instead I feel like they're like the mother eagle. And in that moment where the baby eaglet, and it's their job to push us out the nest so that we could remember that we have the ability to fly. It's like being in a job that you're not supposed to be in, and a shady person comes along and sabotages it and gets you fired because you weren't supposed to get comfortable there. That wasn't for you. That wasn't meant for you. As I say that, it brings me to a thought that came to mind. I remember when I was like 15, 16, before I took the CNA course, and I was working at this hospital. And I was working in the kitchen at the hospital. My mom actually worked at the same hospital as a nurse, but I was in the kitchen. And there's this lady there who was in charge who didn't like me for whatever reasons I don't remember. But I remember how she tricked me into quitting. Like, she made it seem like I was fired, but I wasn't. And I didn't show up for work. And then instead I was given, you know, it made it seem like I quit. When I didn't quit, she made it seem like I was fired. Like, she told me not to come back, but then it's like she tricked me. She tricked me. You know, I don't know why that thought comes to mind, but it comes to mind through the years. Like, I think about her from time to time. When I think about how you'll watch videos about someone being a sociopath or whatever, she was something. She tricked me into thinking I was fired, but I wasn't. Instead made it seem like I no-showed. But, you know, that's an example of people abusing their powers. But I was a kid, so she was able to trick me and get away with that. But it's all good because clearly she was working for me, because I wasn't meant to get comfortable there. And I could have seen how I would have gotten comfortable there and stayed there way longer, because I started enjoying the process and liking the people that I was working with. So I was getting really, really comfortable, where I probably would have missed the bus to get on the path of becoming a CNA. And that bus was going to take me to another bus. So she helped me to, you know, get out in time to get on the next bus. Even though I'm not going to lie, when I think about her sometimes, I'm like, that bee tricked me. She tricked me. She tricked me. And it's crazy how when you're a kid and you don't know any better, how certain people could abuse their power. But either way, she was working for me anyways. Like, clearly she was sent to get me to the bus stop on time because I had another bus to catch. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me a green heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.